Most people are spending all day trying to get the most that they possibly can out of their AI tools. They're trying every prompt that they can think of. They're trying to incorporate as many skills as they can. They're looking for whatever edge they can get. Why? Because the playing field is entirely level. The reality is that we should probably be spending more time trying to help AI get the most out of us. And that is the thesis for why I am doing my best to be AI native, and I would encourage you to do so too. Now, imagine that you grew up in a place where water and electricity were a scarce thing, and you weren't able to just get them, as much as you possibly could want. If that's the case for you right now, I hope that you get to a point where you can get to some places where you can get water and electricity. But for a majority of the people watching this video, I would assume that you probably have water and electricity available to you in a seemingly endless spree and availability. Now, imagine going from that place of complete deprivation to a place where you probably are right now. Lights and water, it's basically so common that you can find them anywhere that you want. And I would argue that that is the place that we are in with AI right now. And I do not know how much longer that is going to continue. And the most people are asking me when they come to me in my business about what I am doing differently and how I am operating differently. And I certainly don't think that I am anything special. But the truth is that AI has removed all of the technical barriers that are out there, and there is an era of subsidized effort that I do not know will continue, and we need to take as much advantage of it as we can. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Matt Burns. I helped build a company called Monday.com. I left, and now I've built a company called ProveWorth.com, and I built that entirely with AI as a completely non-technical person. Basically, what's happening right now, I think, is a very special time that we will look back on fondly and refer to as the good old days, because AI tokens and everything else that's getting out there is being subsidized. And so, what has been kind of my major problem, and one of the major problems that I see people dealing with on a daily basis that are coming and asking me about it over at ProveWorth, is that people need permission to build. And they need to basically become somebody completely different in order to best capture and leverage what AI can do for you. AI, when it's used properly, it can make your judgment completely executable. There is no need for you to be able to know how to code or do anything. And I have basically proven it to myself. And people are asking me because my product is starting to generate a little bit of revenue, nothing crazy, right? But they're asking me, how is this happening? And the way that I am seeing this happen is because I have been kind of slowly inching and crawling my way towards this state of being AI native, where I think differently, I operate differently, but most importantly, I define myself differently. AI native is a description of who you are and your identity. The beauty of what AI has made capable for all of us is that you still choose the different problems, right? For ProveWorth, I got to decide what good looks like. I still have to check the work. I have to do quality assurances and all that before I go and put it out in the world. And you were probably thinking about, well, is it AI slop, right? Is it just something that AI has been able to create? And that's the difference, is when you actually have taste and judgment and you can take more shots on goal than ever possible. That's part of what is going on with this channel and what I am doing. You can't score if you don't take any shots. I can't get better at making videos if I don't make any. The thing that you need to be thinking about is what happens when the excuses that you have no longer become reliable, right? In the words of the great Mufasa, remember who you are or who you need to become. Now, I'm making this video for myself as a creator and a coach, and thinking about other creators and coaches who either want to turn their expertise into something that's super valuable, or they are an advanced business owner and they're already leveraging AI in different ways and they're trying to get that little bit of creative edge. And this video's core thesis is really about, when things are going so crazy, how do you become the kind of person that is going to take advantage of it no matter what twists and turns and other insanity happens out into the world, right? And I want you to just take a glance at a couple of these tweets, right? This is the technical staff at OpenAI, the head of Claude Code. Pause it, feel free to read it. But they're basically saying, and this was earlier this year, right? In January, February timeframe. Both of them are saying they don't do any coding anymore. And that is the reality of the world that we live in. And what used to be basically impossible or short of impossible is now entirely possible, and people are doing it. I'm going out and building products, and I'm leveraging AI in ways that are blowing people away. And I didn't think I was anything special. The reality is, you could be too. There's just going to be a skill issue in terms of getting to the point where you can actually go through and build this stuff. So the field is now completely open. A builder that I respect quite a bit by the name of Peter Levels, he just published this as of the recording of this video a few hours ago. And he says, I have no idea what's going on anymore. Things are changing too fast. AI basically levels the playing field and everybody's completely equal. And nobody knows what's going to happen when super intelligence happens if it hasn't already happened, right? Knowledge used to be the gap, right? Knowledge and skill execution. But everything now is basically a skill issue. People are talking about the fact that distribution is going to be the moat. What's the new moat when it comes to business, building with and leveraging AI? And that's why in this video, I'm not talking to you about how to get this prompt or build this thing or do this one-off tool and adjustment. I think becoming AI native is actually the most important thing that you and I can be doing with our time and making that a part of our identity. And I think the scariest thing is that it's going to get easier and easier for AI to do basically everything in our life, right? I don't want AI to do everything for me, but I have quickly gotten to the place now where it pretty much could. I actually had an outline for this script and a fully written script for this video, and I just kept reading it, being like, "This isn't me. This isn't my human taste and judgment." I had to go and kind of rewrite absolutely everything and start from scratch. Because I wasn't publishing this video. I was spending too much time kind of nitpicking and going over everything with AI. There's another legendary builder by the name of John Yon Fook. I've looked up to him for a very long time, and he has even said it more recently, and I had to take a step back when I read his tweet. When he said, Claude is a better coder than me. This guy who has built, an incredibly successful business. But he makes a good point here. He says, I am still a better designer than Claude. He says, we humans still have purpose for now. And part of the reason I love that tweet so much is that, anybody who's going to pretend to know what's coming or how to prepare for it or they're all just lying to you, right? There is no adult in the room. We're all flying by the seat of our pants, including the people that are all at the AI labs. The most important thing that we could be doing, again, I will stress, is that we need to think about how can we incorporate this into our lives in the right way, where taste and judgment are still being refined by human beings, but execution is being leveraged by AI. The old way that is completely dead is the permission era. And before AI existed, permission needed to happen. You needed to give yourself permission. You had to have other people give you permission. Maybe you needed money, funding, right? Like whatever it could be. But it was, you could call a permission economy. Wait until you can code. Wait until you can afford to help people. Wait until you have the best idea. Wait until you understand the tools. Wait until somebody says it's a good idea. It's okay to be cautious. I have been cautious too. But part of the reason why this video is being made by me right now in this moment where it's not perfect and I'm not going to say all the right things. I'm going to stumble over the stuff. I'm not, recording and I don't have the best lighting, is because I told myself for far too long that I couldn't even try just because the effort would take too much longer. And if you've ever thought that way, I would encourage you to adopt a new philosophy, and that is to become AI native. And I've said that a few times now. So what does that even mean? It means that you operate in three core principles. You act on speed, quality, and momentum. AI gives you the speed. You are the judge and barrier for quality. And the both of you together, an AI native person, builds momentum. And that is the core force of what's going on here. When you choose the problem, AI makes that problem executable, right? You can actually go through, executable, I should say. Funny joke there. It makes it executable, right? And as I have gone and improved in my own usage of AI and using things like Claude Code, I've actually used more leverage and reference to say, I don't know what I don't know inside of the prompts, where I'm having it go and teach me things before I actually go and execute and build upon them. And when it came to ProveWorth specifically, trying to build an actual software tool that people pay for and utilize, all by myself, having had no coding experience whatsoever, that process was incredibly slow, given how fast it could be. But if you compare it to even a couple of years ago, it's lightning speed. But I felt like it was so slow because I was having it teach me along the way. And so now, when you become AI native, you need to be thinking about these different questions. What could I do now that was completely out of reach before? Where can AI remove the friction without removing your judgment? Where can I get data and keep context, right? What evidence would make this thing actually useful? And what parts need humans in the loop? The AI native person would have the highest agency possible and basically moving from idea to evidence as quick as you possibly can. But you keep ownership over the goal and over over the standard and over the decisions. But as we continue to get more and more, who even knows what's going to happen 6 months from now? AI is going to be able to have taste and judgment and be able to help you build those things. So the playing field is just getting leveler and leveler, but human execution in the way that it can deliver for what's going on here is that people are going to want to connect with people, and those people are going to be the ones who buy products. At least as of this moment, agents and AI is not going out there and buying what you are buying. So you need to solve real problems and you need to operate with speed. You need to make sure to measure for quality. And then, of course, you need to build up that momentum. So I had to shift my own identity through this process. And ProveWorth, which is what I built here, is the biggest testament to this. Now, it's not doing anything crazy, but I would have never imagined that I would be at the place where I'm at now. Having never been a coder, having always wanted to code and build software, and now having a product which, as of today, is generating around $500 a month in recurring revenue. Real people, real users. We just crossed over 1,000 verified reviews for this platform. And so if you had told me this a year ago, 2 years ago, I would have believed that it would be possible. But here's the difference, right? I'm currently stuck at this revenue rate because I know that I need to achieve traffic and distribution. And so anybody can build anything. What is going to be the difference? Well, you need to have an audience. You need to have people that trust you, and you need to be able to help them understand that nobody knows the problem, the human problem, possibly better than you. One of the funny things when you go through and read pretty much every biography that was ever written by a great entrepreneur is the fact that belief comes before ability. I think Sarah Blakely is probably one of the great modern examples of this. She's the founder of Spanx. But you go all the way back to Henry Ford and even beyond and previous to that. Every great entrepreneur had to be in a situation where they believed in something far before they had the ability to go out and execute upon that thing. And that is what is stopping most people today. And there has never been a greater time in human existence to destroy that belief and capitalize on what we've got going on right now. So maybe you're the kind of person who says that you have an idea, but you're not the kind of person who can bring that to reality. Now you know, action, right? Action with AI is going to be the thing that teaches you faster than ever before. And look, now that you know this, it's not like this problem is going to be solved. It's still very hard to actually go out and act and do the thing. For example, with this video, again, I've referenced it a few times already. It was very hard for me to get this video to the point now where I can actually talk to a camera and be here with you. You need to remove decision making from the process as much as possible when it comes to taking that initial action. And that's where you're going to be saving energy, you're going to be saving willpower. That's going to bring the first and most important thing. Don't worry about people saying what you produce is AI slop. Just go out and build something, because the only way to not make AI slop is to actually go create, consume, in moderate amounts and refine that sense of taste so that you can keep going and keep building. And at the end of the day, it's all going to be about distribution anyway, because we're all on the same playing field. And proof is really going to be what changes the major parts and the major tides of this battle. Software isn't for technical people anymore. The real answer to pretty much every question that people are asking me now in the ProveWorth community and other things that I'm building and talking around when I go do independent consultations for businesses with AI is that there is no technical limitation anymore. It does not exist. You can build pretty much anything and everything that you want, and so can everybody else. So the bigger difference is, how do I incorporate an AI native state of being so that I can go and make the best use of this? I know who I'm serving, I know what I'm serving them, and I know why it is very important. So it doesn't have to be like an app. It doesn't have to be anything else. The first thing you need to shift is really going to be your identity and building things that people use, whether or not that's going to be anybody in the outside world, or maybe you just build something for yourself. Definitely going to be doing that with this channel, making experiments, and just trying on more ideas. You can actually go out and test these things at rapid scale, because what took a year to build a year ago takes you, maybe 10 minutes to build these days, and it's only going to get better and faster. So if you want to see the actual builds, the actual experiments, the notes that I am taking, and everything here, there's a link in the description that you can go through and follow. I'm going to be keeping all of my most useful things and iterations as I go through and learn them, so that we can share them here with you. And that is going to be all on beingainative.com. So think about your partnership with AI like this. You bring the problem. You bring the taste. AI will generate options for you. It will then generate code for you. It can even do research, draft, and test things for you. But you always need to challenge the output. You always need to build and understand what is going to survive contact with reality, what's actually going to make it out into the world. Don't forget, my friends, the permission era is dead, but the responsibility era is in full swing. The responsibility is now yours. And so with being AI native, use AI to help you extract your intent. Use it to help expose you to things that you didn't even consider, maybe you weren't even aware of. In this era where we are living in right now, even if you throw away 99% of the things that you build 100 things and 99% of them are trash or AI slop or whatever. The fact is, you can get more volume now, and you just need one really good quality thing to improve a workflow, improve your life, or even create or refine and improve upon and solve key business problems. AI is far from perfect. That's another thing that is coming with the sense of taste and judgment. And one of the biggest things that I have ended up talking to most people about is the fact that I use different models for different jobs, and I try them in different ways. And when I go and build and code anything, I actually have multiple models go and work on and consult together. And I have found that since I have implemented that process, my code output, my software, anything that I have built has been significantly and dramatically improved. Just like if I were to have a council of different people, a bunch of different employees, those kinds of things make a huge difference in what I have been able to do. And so if you want to find out how I do that and how I think about that process and some examples of what I do, click around here and you'll be able to see that video. In the meantime, we'll see you next time.